It's time for Italian Duolingo speed run. So I recently did a video where I did a Spanish Duolingo speed run because I've taken Spanish for many years of my life. I've been around people who speak Spanish. I live in Texas. That's very common. And pretty recently, like last month at time of recording, I went to Italy. Beautiful, loved it, did not want to come home. Am currently trying to figure out how I can move to Italy. Now, I did not speak any Italian when I went, which is a very American thing to do, to go to a country not being able to speak the language, and the irony of that is not lost on me. However, I knew enough Spanish to be able to understand enough Italian to be able to be not the most obnoxious American in the world. That being said, I obviously didn't speak any Italian, so they found out pretty quickly that I was a native English speaker. If the conversation went any further than them just giving me direct information that sounded very similar to Spanish. So I'm not at all saying that I was able to function in Italy well, right? I definitely needed them to speak English or any form of hand gestures or movements or something. A lot of people in Italy did speak excellent English. A lot of them were very nice and generally were able to look at me and were able to know I was an American. I've heard we had like a look about us. I believe it. But I want to go back to that part where I said I actually understood a fair amount of Italian just because I know enough Spanish. So both Spanish and Italian have Latin roots, right? They're both Romance languages. And there are a surprising amount of Italian words that are either the same or very, very similar, or at least are pronounced the same and very similar to Spanish words. I've never seen Italian written out, so I can't say anything about that. But I'm not gonna say impressed because I don't find my knowledge of the Italian language at all impressive, but I was definitely surprised how easy it was for me to follow along some conversations that were purely in Italian, having never spoken or really heard Italian before. The reason I was so surprised is because my French is ass. My French is so bad, but that is technically another Romance language, I'm pretty sure. I'm not a linguist, so I'm gonna have to double check all these facts and probably put notes up on the screen if I'm correct or incorrect, or people who are actually linguists can leave comments below about how incorrect and how much of a stupid American I am. I will gladly take those comments because you are probably correct. So what's the point of this video? Well, I very recently did my Duolingo Spanish speed run to kind of like prove to myself that I knew more Spanish than I was giving myself credit for, and with this recent trip to Italy, where it seems like because of how much Spanish I knew, I was not even passable, but just like scraping the surface of understanding Italian. I want to do an Italian Duolingo speedrun. Obviously, it's not gonna go well. I'm not at all trying to say that I think that I'm going to do well in this Italian speedrun. In fact, I expect it to go very poorly. However, I am now very interested in actually trying to learn Italian, like for real. So why not just jump in and do it? I said pretty jokingly earlier that I kind of want to move to Italy and live there forever because I was so enchanted by the few days I was there. I was there for like about a week. But it is truly a beautiful country with a beautiful language, with some amazing people from the people I met. And you know, there is always a chance that I could retire in Italy. Might as well learn some Italian. And to be honest, ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be a polyglot, and I don't know if Latin really counts, especially since the pronunciation on those words is kind of sketchy at sometimes, because it's kind of a dead language and people disagree, and that one's a whole mess, and I'm ass at Greek. Greek is an incredibly difficult language. So out of the languages I know, first of all, I don't know Greek very well at all. Latin is mostly a dead language, and even though it helps you learn other languages, it's not really helpful in like a daily repertoire unless you're like a scientist or you read Harry Potter, because all of those spells are just exactly what she wants to happen in Latin. Harry Potter's not well written, guys. I will always dunk on Harry Potter. Spanish, A+ to my school for teaching me Spanish. It's useful in the state I'm in. I think that's probably the only useful one I know. So whenever anybody asks me, I kind of just default to saying I know Spanish. I kind of leave out the other two. But why not add Italian in? And the only time to start is now. So I have my actual Duolingo account open, not the one I created only to strictly do the Spanish speedrun. This is my actual account. So after today, I will continue to learn Italian after this. We're gonna go ahead and add Italian Italian in? Do we want to start from scratch or do we want to check level? I know 0 Italian, but I still want to do the CLEP test. I want to see how much, if at all, my knowledge of Spanish can help me learn Italian. How far can I get in the test knowing no Italian officially? How well can I do on this test based strictly on my knowledge of Spanish, English, and Latin? Let's assess my level. Well, that means hello, Alessandro. I know that one.
Salve, Alessandro.
Didn't we just do this one?
Arrivederci.
Ooh, my pronunciation is going to be even worse in this one than it was in the Spanish one.
Signora.
Okay, so that's pronounced the same as Spanish, just with the IG is pronounced like the E in Spanish.
Io non parlo bene inglese.
Oh, here we go. My guess. I don't speak English very well, or something to that effect. I don't know any pronouns in Italian, but I would guess this means I. Non obviously is a negative, so I don't. Parlo, like French for parler, I think is French for speak. Bene is very similar to Spanish bueno or bien for good. Inglese, very similar to the Spanish inglés. I don't speak very good English would be my guess. Yes. Okay, he drinks. Ooh. So this is the only capitalized one, but it also looks like a name. Bevi would be my guess for drinks. Oh, there's 2 of them. This is the only capitalized one. This is a conjugation question, and I don't know the correct answer because I don't know how to conjugate in Italian. In Spanish, it could be either of these 2 in Spanish depending on what kind of verb it is. I'm gonna go with this one because it's the most similar to Spanish. Okay, so he is Louis. I said that like it's French. It's not. We're learning.
Le ragazze bevono latte.
Oh no. Don't know, drink coffee. No, milk, latte. I do remember that because I did order a latte and they gave me just a glass of milk, which was fine. But I was expecting like a coffee latte, which that's on me. I should have specified. So these are plural, but this looks like a singular pronoun. But all of the other ones I have are plural. So this is a plural pronoun. Interesting. Ragazze. I don't know. Okay, so E would make it feminine, I guess. So it's either women or girls. Is it, I'm gonna say women drink milk. I'm not sure if this is, okay, so it's girls. Okay.
Io cucino la carne.
I guess it's I cook meat. Okay, that's pretty similar to Spanish.
La donna beve.
Donna. Okay, so that is one that was somewhere in the back of my mind. Drinks. Okay, we're making progress. They are women. That's the only capitalized one, so that has to be it. I haven't seen a lot of S's on the ends of words yet for plural, which is worrying me. This one looks very similar to the Spanish conjugation. I'm gonna guess that one. It could also be this one. Oh no, it could be any of these, honestly. Oh no. Okay. I know it's gonna be donne at the end.
Donne.
That's the plural for women. So it looks like the E at the end is the plural feminine, is my guess so far. Like I said, I don't know anything. Loro sono, that has a similar like O, consonant O. So I'm just gonna go with that one.
Donne.
I do not think it's correct. Okay, so they pronouns, this plural pronoun looks very similar to the plural verb.
Io mangio la frutta.
The frutta is the fruit. So it has to be eat. That's a weird word for eat. I've never seen anything like that. I eat. La fruta would be the fruit, but they don't have a the option, which is interesting. I drink wine.
Io bevo vino.
This is the exact same as it is in Spanish, so. Okay. Mio. Padre. Same in Spanish, same in Italian. Same in Latin also. It's gonna be una. Sounds very similar to whatever girls was. I don't know if that would be it. It's gonna be
Gioielleria.
That looks
Gioielleria.
I was gonna say that could be store because it looks like Galleria, but the way she said it sounds
Gioielleria.
like jewelry. So a jewelry.
Gioielleria.
This would be my guess for
Vostri.
store. So one of these is has. This one looks more like the other pronouns, so I'm gonna go with That sounds kind of like Spanish.
Una. Vostri.
This is my guess. Oh, this is just a word for jewelry store? Okay. The rest of it is correct though, which is, I'm not gonna say impressive, but I am gonna say some good guesswork going on.
La ragazza chiama.
Okay. The girl. Ooh. It's not question. It's not bank. It's either remembers or calls. I'm gonna go with calls. Okay, Laurel
No.
was they. Do not. Non.
Non.
Carne is meat. This one was the word for.
Mangiano. Carne.
Was the word for eat, that's a new one for me. The rest of these feel familiar enough, but that one's so bonkers.
Noi compriamo una bistecca.
Looks very similar to the Spanish nos for we. We buy a bistecca. Sounds like steak, and the other ones don't make sense. So that's what we're going with. Okay.
Quando e come? Quan e come?
What are you eating? That's my guess. When and how. Not even close. Oh, that's right, because eating is the imaginario. Eating is the one that looks like I thought it said mango at. Cuando is pronounced like Spanish, which would be the same as when. E is E in Spanish, but the different E. And how. Okay, that's what I'm gonna have to get used to.
Sono alta come mio padre. 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 Padre.
Okay, so if that one's how, my dad. How tall is my dad? I am tall like my dad.
Tu sai che non posso.
Jesus Christ. We're getting to territory where I'm lost, dazed, and confused. Tu is you. You, sai, che, no posso. I don't know the rest of them. Negative. Something's negative. Okay. You cannot. I feel like we've seen this already. I don't know for sure though. You cannot. You know that I cannot. That makes way more sense because the negative is at the end. So you know, say, che would have been a guess for that. You know that I cannot. Okay. We're
Tu
learning.
sai che non posso.
Ah, here we go. Same thing. You know that I cannot. Posso would be the first person conjugation of the word can, I guess. I guess that's what that means. Okay. Oh, no. That's
E.
the only capitalized one. It also looks similar to the pronouns we've already seen. Capello.
Cappello.
Oh, that's right. We're not speaking Spanish. It's capello.
Cappello.
Capello. That's my guess. Just because of the word cap. It's not at all similar to Spanish. It's just a guess. The brown hat. That's the other question. In Spanish, adjectives come after the noun. In English, they come before. Similar to Spanish.
Marrone.
Brown. So that's my guess. Is mine. So I'm going to say mio.
Mio.
That is my guess. Okay. So this is the first person conjugation, or just another word for is. Okay. Very similar to and. Just gotta pay attention to the accents.
Non ho il mio costume.
This is negative. I do not have my costume. It's like the first person one, right? Okay.
La ragazza ha una cintura nera.
The girl has a gotta be belt because it's the only one that is singular and black. It has to be nera, similar to negra in Spanish. Okay, the girl, that means girl. We found that out. Hi, it would be has. Una is similar and the exact same in Spanish. I cook fish with salt. Okay, so this was cook, and it's also
Cucino.
the singular version. Pesche is
Pesce.
pesce. Col
Col.
sal.
Sale.
Very similar to sal in Spanish. Con is very similar to col. This is my guess because this also was the singular form of the verb to have or something similar like that.
Cucino il pesce col sale.
Same thing. I cook. Formaggio. That means cheese, I'm pretty sure.
Voglio che tu mangi formaggio.
Is this pronounced que?
Voglio che tu mangi formaggio.
This is pronounced que, like with a K sound instead of a CH sound. Interesting. Okay, so this is probably a person's name. They are eating cheese or something similar. Whoa. I want you to eat cheese. So this is I want. I don't know what this is. There's almost like an extra verb thrown in between certain phrases that I don't really understand yet. I want would be, I don't know how to pronounce that.
Voglio che tu mangi
This word means
formaggio.
I want, right? You, this is eat, but you eat cheese. So is this like the two part? I'm not exactly sure.
Sì, lui è un padre. Lui è un padre.
Okay, so yes, Louis is a dad, maybe? Okay, so that's not a name. This means he. Not similar enough to Spanish for me to remember it. Oh! We're done. I got 2 wrong, I think. And one of them was surprisingly close, if I remember it. So before we look at like my actual results, I'm obviously not gonna start from wherever it puts me, because I think this is kind of a false test, right? I was able to do a lot of guesswork based on my knowledge of other languages. And I don't think this is a very good example of how much Italian I know. Or is it? I'm not exactly sure. I want to start from the beginning anyway, because there's a lot of things in here that I'm like, I really don't understand this rule. I'm just really good at guessing because of the limited amount of words and my knowledge of other stuff. So I'm gonna start from the beginning no matter where this puts me. So now you can see what I'm saying, where I knew enough to be at least able to follow a conversation to the point where I wasn't missing my trains and that kind of stuff. But you can see that it's definitely a struggle. The Spanish one was not a struggle at all, if you want to compare them. But let's see how well I did. Where's it gonna put me? Okay, it's gonna put me all the way in section 2. See, it had me skip section 1 completely. I don't know if I want that, because I really don't understand the rules. Okay, but at least put me in unit 1, which is good. I don't know, I think I might kind of reset it and send it all the way back to the beginning, because I don't necessarily understand the rules of conjugation, or which pronouns reflect which pronouns in English, or how to conjugate any verbs, or most of the vocabulary words. I don't know. You can leave your thoughts in the comments if you want, if I should just try and go with it from here, from section 2 unit 1, or if I should go all the way back to the beginning and start over, because that makes more sense. I just hate being bored, and these sections can get repetitive, and if I already know enough Spanish to be passable, I don't want to be continuously doing something that's not actually going to advance me at all. I hope that makes any form of sense whatsoever. I did surprisingly good at Italian. I'm surprised, at least, at how well I did. I was expecting to get almost every single question wrong repeatedly, to the point where I was frustrated. That's not what happened. Italian, here I come, I guess. But let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think it's worth starting all the way over from the beginning, or if it makes more sense to just keep going and try and figure it out trial by fire wise. It's going to be very stressful, I feel. But I guess we'll just have to see when I do it. That's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.